from the Honourable Member for Charlottetown Parkdale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. During second reading of amendments to the Archives and Records Act last spring, Government was asked about what is being done to ensure that ministers and government employees are not using BlackBerry messaging or text messaging to communicate on sensitive issues and bypass the Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy process. At the time, the Provincial Archivist stated, and I quote, "We're going to continue to investigate, and hopefully we will be able to come up with a policy that will deal with all of the issues around government records that may be in that format." End quote. A question to the Minister of Education, Early Learning and Culture. Have you come up with a policy to prevent this abuse? This is a long-standing issue that does not seem to be taken seriously by this government. In 2013, the Information Commissioner of Canada issued a special report on instant messaging, which I will be tabling later on today. In that report, she concluded that instant messaging presents an unacceptable risk to the right of access to information. A question to the Minister of Education, Early Learning and Culture. Would you agree that instant messages are, in fact, government records and need to be preserved, and that a failure to do so is an offence under your newly amended Archives and Records Act? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm very happy to hear that there are investments being made in staff and supports, including those people who may be able to identify the difference between transitory records and records of merit. One of the reasons given for not tracking BlackBerry messages is that it is very difficult to access records that are on somebody else's BlackBerry. In reality, all BlackBerry, PIN and SMS messages can be logged with the flick of a switch on the server. A question to the Minister. Will you commit to investigating this technology to help resolve the issue of ministers and staff destroying government records?
We're saying that you have to show up so many times. There's obviously issues, Mr. Speaker, so that's why we believe in the opposition that they should be open and transparent. Will the Minister commit to having open public meetings? I can't get an answer, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Minister of Health and Wellness.
Mr. Speaker, I can assure the honourable member that there's no sense of cynicism here of our board or anything of that nature. It's just simply a case where we feel that there should be term limits. If there was a situation where a board member decided to want to stay on for whatever reason, I think it's important that we have diversity on the board, that we have turnover on the board, as well as if there's individuals that can't meet for particular reasons, I think it's important that the Minister have that authority to appoint somebody in their place, because it is rather important, Mr. Speaker. So once again, I'll see what I can do to get the attendance records, and if we can table any of the issues around enumeration. I think it's a top board within our Engage PEI concept, and I know that there's a set remuneration per board member, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Minister.